A nigga from Milwaukee writes to BossMack. He say, BossMack, I'm a 34-year-old nigga out here getting to my increments as a truck driver with my own trucking company right now. I got 2 trucks on the road. My bitch is a 31-year-old tax accountant. This bitch has been on the team 2 years. Over the past year or so, this bitch has been on the team 2 years. Over the past year or so, I've been taking some hits financially, but I've been weathering the storm. This is the type of shit that happens when you own your own company. The first year me and my bitch was together, we had a few excursions. We went to Vegas a few times and we went to Hawaii. This year I haven't really been able to do shit extra, but I'm maintaining. My bitch wanted to schedule a trip to Turks and Caicos this year. She started planning for it in April. She wanted to make the trip happen in the middle of July. I was with it at first, but my paper wasn't right, so I had to cancel. My bitch went anyway. Her and her homegirls turned it into a girls' trip. I seen the pics. They seemed to have a good time. When she got back from the trip, things went left with one of her bitches that she went on the trip with, and they became enemies and they started beefing. I was at the bar the other night and the friend that is now her enemy was there, and she was tipsy, and she told me that my bitch linked up with an older nigga that from the city that has paper, that flew out there to link up with them when they was in Turks. BossMack, how would you play this right here? I know these bitches are enemies now, but do you think this is valid? How would you approach this? Hit the like button for this game. All right. You know, I'm gonna say this, man. You know, if you seen the fluctuations in respect from your bitch in relation to your economic situation, you know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of times, when bitches be disappointed, you feel me? Bitches be disappointed at your limitations when you experiencing limitations. You know what I'm saying? You can't do this and that. You know what I'm saying? You know, and, it is what it is. Now, I will be looking at my bitch, really, like, I'm looking at my bitch to see if I'm getting disrespected. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And, when bitches be looking forward to big trips and shit, you know what I'm saying? And then, she put it out there that y'all was doing it, and then you ain't able to do it, you know what I'm saying? In front of the homegirls, get to see you not able to do it, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I mean? And, you know. But what I would do, here's what I would do though. Here's what I would do. It ain't nothing like now. Like I said, I always tell a nigga to, you need to, you observe your bitch. You know if a bitch is the respect is fluctuating. Shout out to that $19. Salute to BossMack in the chat. She would have to break up non-refundable. Break off non-refundable bread to come back with strict conditions and permanent sidekick designation. Hey, you know if your bitch is disappointed in you and your respect is fluctuating, you know what I'm saying? You know, and I'm gonna say this from some experience right here. I'm gonna say this. Now, this is really some universal shit. I'm gonna say this go for every environment, really, but I'm gonna say in Milwaukee it's even more profound because Milwaukee is it's so much tension among motherfuckers with money, about money and being able to do shit and being able to live good and have shit and be able to brag about the trips you're taking and, you know, that type of shit that I could see a bitch. A bitch is a tax accountant having money to a certain degree, and y'all was supposed to go to Turks, and then you cancel because you don't got it. And then it's a older nigga out here with it. You know what I'm saying? And then bitches bitches. Hey, you know what I'm saying? You know, I can see that happening, right? Now, I'm looking at my bitch, and I'm checking for the disrespect fluctuate. I'm checking for the fluctuations in respect. If a bitch is disrespecting me, I'm picking up on it. Now, in that situation where she fell out with a homegirl and you bump into the homegirl and the homegirl snitch on her, right? You know what I'm saying? I would go for the, like I said, I'm monitoring a bitch's respect, right? But then I would go for the, I would be looking at a bitch and I would be like, I would wait till we was chilling somewhere. We relaxing. And then I would just hit a bitch with a blunt accusation. Be like, hey man, you know what, man? I heard that you went when you went to Turks and Caicos, you linked up with a nigga from out here, an old nigga from out here. I heard that. And just see how a bitch accept it. You know what I'm saying? And see how she respond to that. I heard you did that. And I get it if you did, because I know you wanted to do a vacation and shit, you know what I'm saying, and I couldn't make it. But I heard you went out there and linked up with a nigga. And see how a bitch respond to that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I see how a bitch respond to that. I see how a bitch respond to that. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't what she say, cause I'm expecting a bitch to deny it, right? But I'm looking at the texture of the response. You know what I'm saying? I look at the textures. You know what I mean? And then it's time for you to have more than one bitch on the team. And then it's time to have more than one bitch on the team. Kelly Mack. I'm finna hit her. I'm finna book her. I'm finna book Kelly Mack. I'm finna book her, man. Hit the like button for this game. It's tough, man. When you know, it's always tough when you got one bitch on the team, man, and she know it. I hope, you know, and then also I'm gonna have to say that, you know, there's always like, you know, you got that lopsidedness in there, man. A bit. You're a truck driver and shit, right? I hate to say this, but you know, it needs to be said. You know, you truck driver. I don't know if you an advanced degree having motherfucker, but a lot of times, man, bitches be like, a bitch a tax accountant, so she got a degree in accounting, right? So she fucking with you as a truck driver. She expecting you to be getting it. You know what I'm saying? And you was getting it the first year. And then, you know, in the second year, you start having fluctuations in the bread, and bitches ain't understanding about fluctuations in the bread. Bitches ain't understanding. It's looking like you can't manage your resources well, right? So, you know, you already facing it. It's always, I always like to remind niggas, man, when you fucking with a bitch with a college degree, you know what I'm saying, and you don't have one, even if you getting more bread than her, she gonna try to look at you sideways because you don't have a degree too. She already gonna look at you like that. And then if you start coming up short with the bread, if you ain't looking like you on top of your shit, she gonna look at you even more sideways. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I feel like that's one of the you know, I feel like white people don't experience that like black people do. I feel like when it come to niggas, you know what I'm saying, every reason, like, you know, like every reason for imbalance is highlighted. You know what I'm saying? If you fucking with a bitch, you could be like a nigga that's really like highly paid with a business. You know, you could be having millions. And a bitch that don't have and a bitch that got a degree that's making some decent paper will still feel a little bit of leverage over you because she got a degree. And if she got an advanced degree, it's even worse. If she got like a master's or a PhD, a bitch really acting like you a dumb motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I noticed that with FBA bitches. I noticed that. That's part of the FBA struggle. You know what I'm saying? You know. Hit the like button for this game. You know, man, I feel like yeah, it's a hell of a feeling when you find out some shit about your bitch. It's a hell of a feeling when you find out some shit about your bitch. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Yale B. Hey, man. Listen. Hey, man. I mean, bro. Man, these bitches. Bitch. A bitch will have a bullshit PhD. A bitch will have a bullshit master's and be flexing on you.